very fast. We were shifting from magnetic cassettes to CDs, and then at the same time there was a introduction of iPods and some music players which stored music inbuilt. So music format also changed. It became digital.
Yes.
So it became we were able to record it on CDs.
Yes.
Then we were able to record it on hard disks.
Yes.
Plus the format changed from conventional formats to MP3 and MP4 formats,
Right.
wherein more music could be stored in a lesser space.
Yes.
So these were the particular things that really disrupted this music industry. Plus introduction of internet. Internet became more easily accessible. Bandwidth increased. Internet bandwidth increased, and size of the music files decreased, which made accessing music online very easy. And then there was a rise of online music companies. These were the things.
Very good. And what happened to the ability of music to be downloaded free? Legal, illegal. So
Yeah.
where there is no law, everything is legal.
Yes. Piracy became rampant.
Yes. So it was very easy to download music if you had internet connection.
Yes.
Okay. Now imagine you're paying $100 for a CD, okay, and you already had piracy next door where they would compress 500 songs in one CD and give it to you for $50. And then the next day your kid who's 12 years old figures out कि ये सब 50 रुपए क्यों डालने का है? I will download it for free. Yeah. And most of the places at home you outsource all this to your kid. तू करो भाई. So these are the guys who have experimented and found out everything that is happening online. Okay, while we still remain skeptical, they actually collapsed businesses. So businesses have stopped because people have discovered how to get that music free online. Okay? Because you never had competition, you were a smart guy, you never allowed the competition to grow. So here's your chocolate. Don't put your head like this, take the chocolate and go home. पता नहीं कितने लोगों को मिला. I know. Okay. Great, thank you. Yeah, any comments on this team? What did they miss out? Even iPod changed the attitude towards music.
Business model is changed. Napster also. iTunes.
Napster, very important, because you could share music with each other through a Napster account, which was online. Okay, great. DTH. Chalo. Somebody else is also there in DTH. Yeah, get ready. Who's the representative? Get up, please get up. Thank you. Competition है भाई. ऐसे भी DTH में बहुत competition है.
चैनल फ्री है सर अभी सर मैं दे
Yeah, we are the DTH directors. We come out with our observations, and our general body decided some few observations that where we went wrong. First interruption was internet, and we felt that pirated DVDs and CDs are also disrupted our business, and multiplex also hampered our lines of business. And again, mobile technology has also disturbed our path. YouTube and all the other parts actually. And then Sony, Walkman and iPods, all those have come into our obstacles as obstacles.
आपने सबको दुश्मन बना लिया.
Again, we saw that when we deep dived, then we saw that some venture capitalists came in and they started disturbing our business. They started promoting other activities for us. So we did not anticipate that as well. And smart TVs and some developed countries influences where people started not really liking us on our services. And the advertisements on TVs and all.
You forgot rain. बारिश आएगा तो सिग्नल इंटरप्ट हो जाएगा.
These are the factors that we
Yeah, and age gap was also widening. So our younger generation started attracted towards internet content and all. So we were not able to satisfy them through our normal DTH. Important was all of us were on the same line, so we never thought out of the box. We always only wanted to do the only DTH kind of things. We never went outside to see what's happening out of the market.
Sure.
We stuck to the only our boardroom.
Sure. So in the board of directors, did you have anybody who was 19 years old?
All of the 40 plus.
So that means it is so critical for us to have that generation as a representative of the customer speaking to us. And most of the times we have a customer sitting at home who we don't want to pay attention to. But this generation, restless fellows, where can I send him to discipline him? So we want to mold them. Actually, we need to remold ourselves.
Yes.
Okay. One of the things you can make sure that if you really want to change yourself, or you want to follow the path of disruption, stop coming in the way of your children. I desperately try not to come in way of my son. फिर भी कभी ना कभी हो जाता है, and then suddenly I remember what am I doing. The more I tell him what to do, the less I'm ensuring that he actually flowers. In fact, the more I need to do is, you do whatever you want, boss. And don't worry about failure. We will still love you, and if you fail, we'll be proud of you. 3 days ago, the first lunar landing happened, okay, by a private company of Israel. So they were attempting it for the first time. 50 engineers had got together, created a lunar lander, and they had hiked on a satellite. वहाँ जाके they were now attempting to land it. The satellite failed to land. Okay, 3 days ago, it crashed. As soon as it crashed, in half an hour's time, the Prime Minister of Israel came down to that lab and congratulated each one of them, and gave a conference saying, "This is a wonderful team. We have failed, and that means we will come back and try again." And I was floored because the Prime Minister came down just because they had failed. That's how they celebrate failures. And this one thing we have to take from here is, let's not tell our children that it is bad to fail. On the contrary, if they fail early and fast, they gain experience, and by the time they hit 21, they may possibly be the managing directors of some of the companies. Okay, chances are we are coming in the way. Okay, all the youngsters are laughing. But this is a fact, and we need to change our attitude. This disruption is unavoidable. Sorry, coming back to our point here. Where are those two second director? Please speak up.
Yeah. Like, of course, the internet is the major competitor for us. Like, slowly it is bringing some of the conveniences, like customizing options, internet for video streaming, and the convenience of using it anywhere and anytime. So if the internet gets connected to mobile devices, then those devices can be used anywhere, so anytime, so at our will. Then the increased number of access of people to internet. So those things will be the challenge for the DTH. That's what, if we can concentrate on these conveniences. So if we can we can connect the DTH to maybe mobile devices, or if we can bring some more handy devices, then we might be the competitor.
Okay. So you're saying we missed out on some elements of connecting the DTS to the mobile and some other handheld devices.
Can I add?
Yes, please.
I've seen cable cable struggling.
Yes.
Okay, काफी बारी चोरी हो जाती है तो बेचारे को पैसे भी नहीं मिलते. Okay, और they anyways have the database.
Yes.
They anyways have all the wiring done.
Yes.
Everything is there.
Yes.
Okay, but only if we could have changed the DTH to a Hathaway, so it would have
That means all you needed was the fiber net connectivity,
exactly. Yeah,
Optical fiber.
optical fiber.
yeah. If we could have done that, then we could have survived.
Sure, got that. Very good. Audience, any comments on the DTH story? Build up. Okay, great. So please get up both the team representatives with the other one. Yes. Okay. No self promotion.
अरे मुझे आँख खुला रखना पड़ेगा. आँख बंद रखता हूँ तो वही लोग फिर से ताली मारते हैं.
Give it up for him. Give it up for our youngster there. सेम बजाया ताली. अभी क्या करें? दोनों को आधा आधा देते हैं.
We'll acquire the company.
आधा आ गया आधा. Okay. Which is the next company? Pen drives. Pen drive. Yes. Somebody else as well, no? Pen drive. Okay. One. Very good. चलो बोलो.
Am I audible?
You're actually audible without the mic, but we want the mic on.
I don't need it anyways. Alright, so if we look back in time, in 2004, what people used mostly the pen drives for was files, movies, music and photographs majorly to share the content from one person to the other. They already had floppies, they had already CDs, DVDs, but now they wanted something compact, fast and with more space. So when things changed, we were manufacturing pen drives at good pace, but what we didn't see or notice was technology was changing at good rate. So if we notice, internet came into India in 1995, so already we could send files across internet. So that was still fine, you don't need more space. 2004, Gmail came in with the cloud space. We ignored. 2006, cloud storage. 2004 was the Gmail, 2006 was the cloud space. So you're still, chalega, dekhte, things will go on. And external hard disks were pretty much invented by 1960 or something, but they lately came into the market. When we figure out these things together, clubbing, we see that what killed the movies to transfer from the pen drives was DTH or the DVDs. DVDs were already passed,
Yes.
DTH was which took up. And for the photos and all, we could pretty much share through Bluetooth devices from the mobile or some other things. I don't think mobile was there back in 2004 with the Bluetooth on that.
Right.
So it was, if you look at the music, it was iPod, which also was again launched in 2004.
Yes.
Even D2H in 2001. D2H in 2004, which was at the same pace when we were in peak performance. Technology was disrupting, which we did not notice.
Yes.
So breaking down things in different segments, we were completely offset of all the competition, which was not a direct competition, which we did not notice, which eventually grew up and we killed off. So we think we were just focused on making external hard disk to pivot from where we were to just slightly move, rather than focusing on what was far away to ready to kill us in long drive.
Very good. And I love the point that you brought in about Google, because they launched their services in 2004, and Google came and said, look, if you have a Gmail account, as long as you keep the Gmail account window open, your storage will keep on accumulating, free storage. Okay? And this free storage killed storage devices industry. Why would you pay for a storage device if it is free? Okay? And then you had Google Drive, which killed almost all external drives. Okay. Fantastic, let's give them a round. Well covered. Anything else that audience wants to make a point? Okay.
And our pen drive company name is Hubli Pen Drive Company.
Hubli?
Hubli Pen Drive Company.
Hubli Dharwad, wow. SD. Great, thank you.
We are all having a nice time thinking about businesses which are closed down. Here's my question to you. Who, as of now, is working on closing down your business?
Today date. All traditional market.
Think on the question. If you look at each of these examples, the competition came from a completely unexpected area. Right? A Gmail impacting a pen drive company. Who would have thought? Okay? A photo processing facility or an Instagram or an Orkut impacting Kodak. Who would have thought? And that means competition can come from almost anywhere. How many of you are in a restaurant business here? Anybody is in a restaurant business? Okay. And how many of you are into interior designing here? Anybody is into interior designing? Please tell me, how is Swiggy impacting restaurants and interior design? As we speak. Or Zomato. So you're familiar with Zomato? Fine. How is Zomato impacting restaurant and interior design business?
Zomato is basically set into collecting data right now by giving all the services. Once it gets all the data, it is going to open its centralized kitchens and cater the same customers whom he used to cater earlier through people like us, to the chain of restaurants.
Okay.
Walk-in customers to the restaurants are getting decreased. And
That's your first impact.
it impacting everyone.
Check in your house. What is the inclination of the youngsters? They'll say, "Arey, Swiggy से मंगा लो,
Yes,
Zomato से मंगा लो यार, क्यों खटपट कर रहे हो? कौन ट्रैफिक में जाएगा? कौन वो सिग्नल पे झंझट ये सब? घर पे बैठा है ना, मैं टीवी देख रहा है, मेरे को खाना इधर चाहिए." ओके, सो द मॉम से अच्छा तू मंगा ले भाई, वैसे भी तुझे आता है ये इंटरनेट 5 मिनट में ऑर्डर हो जाएगा. Yeah, and breakfast comes in 10 minutes home, right? And as that happens, the brand of the restaurant still continues. So somebody will have your restaurant as the favorite brand. मेरे को इधर से चाहिए, मेरे को इधर से चाहिए. Suddenly, if you are the restaurant owner, you are thinking, अच्छा takeaways बढ़ गया है, walk-ins कम हो गया है. तो अभी क्या करना चाहिए?
Stop कम करो.
Walk-in कम हो गया है, takeaways बढ़ गया है. किचन स्पेस बढ़ाओ, टेबल स्पेस कम करो. अच्छा, टेबल स्पेस कम करने का तो इंटीरियर करने की क्या जरूरत है? इंटीरियर डिजाइनर हैज नो क्लू व्हाट्स हैपेंड. पहले 15 रेस्टोरेंट का धंधा आ रहा था, अब एक का भी नहीं आ रहा है. यू स्टार्ट डाउटिंग योर ओन एबिलिटी.
Even unbranded in kitchen place.
Yeah, then what? You just need a garage.
Yes. From their home they are supplying.
Yeah.
In Bangalore especially.
That means this Uber Eats, all of these eats, what they are trying to do is they're simply delivering something at your home, faster and cheaper. So the need never changes. लोगों को फिर भी भूख लगने ही वाला है. The way food is delivered is changing. That's disruption. And as an impact, a lot of businesses are getting into turmoil.
Leisure time spending is coming down.
Sure. And the definition of leisure time is changing.
Yes.
So, I would rather watch 10 episodes of Netflix while munching on food which I have ordered through Swiggy. And that is my high time. Or if I am not satisfied with that, I may put on a virtual reality game and do something there. It may sound Greek and Latin to you, but some of the youngsters here know what I am talking. Okay, they would swear by that experience more than going out and going to a fair and watching everybody around and getting jostled in the process. So, I had a very funny incident. We had gone to a Canadian city because there was Tulip Festival. So my son and there was a cousin in Canada, so we called him over and we all went. He was a teenager. My son is 12, 13. My cousin was about 18. हमको बहुत मजा आया. We loved those tulips, 10,000 bulbs, वगैरह वगैरह. We were all on a high, and these two kids, they said, "Why did you call this here? We could have checked this online, no?" हमने इंटरनेट पे देख लिया होता ये सब सारे flowers. We couldn't identify with them. That's a fact. That's how they think. And that means going forward, a lot of these businesses which you solely experience are up for change. Okay. My question to you is, who is disrupting your business as we speak?
Customers. So, like, no, I come from a chartered accountancy background. For us, is the biggest destroyer of our profession is the artificial intelligence.
Very true.
And the software companies.
Yes.
Pre-2000, the books were handwritten. 2000 to 2015, it was on a very basic software like Tally. Today, Tally itself is upgraded to ERP. And the data capture happens, and they takes everything which is required as per the law and reporting requirements. And to add that, if they put artificial intelligence in that, which we thought we have the intelligence as a chartered accountant, that has been given to the software, and we will be out of the market.
Yes.
You are absolutely spot on.
Yes.
Probably I am talking which I should have spoken 3-4 years back as of now.
You're spot on. If we do not change ourselves, time will make us irrelevant. And that time is not too far. Anything which is a standardized service can be done at 1/10 of the cost at what you're doing.
Yes.
Just for 1/10 of the cost. If I employ a bot or a software, artificial intelligence limited software, 1/10 of the cost में हो जाएगा.
Today, like no, even Mukesh Ambani is coming through Geo software,
Yeah.
wherein he will give the GST training, everything.
Yeah, they are going to say filing of returns free.
Yes.
आप डेटा तो हमारे थ्रू करो, ऑटोमेटिक फाइल हो जाएगा इधर से, आपको चिंता ही नहीं है रिटर्न्स फाइल करने का.
सीबीआई के सब हेल्प कर देंगे.
Sure. Who else? Who's impacting your business? This is a very critical question. Okay, we are here for this key question. हमारे धंधे को आगे जाके कौन इम्पैक्ट करेगा?
Technology, automation,
E-commerce.
big players.
I've heard all four: technology, automation, e-commerce, big players. I think all four of you are probably only partially right.
Artificial intelligence.
Technology is a tool.
Innovation.
Okay, e-commerce is a way of reaching the customer.
Yes.
Something else is disrupting the business.
Artificial intelligence.
Innovation, artificial intelligence.
Mindset to adopt. Adoption.
Please repeat. This is a chocolate answer.
Thank you. Mindset to adopt ourselves to the new thing.
Please repeat it again.
Mindset
To
adopt.
adopt
Yeah.
to the changing requirements of the customer.
Yes. Gets it.
I think that's where disruption is.
Customer.
Since I'm in that state of denial, नहीं हमारा कस्टमर को कुछ नहीं होने वाला है, हमारे धंधे को कुछ नहीं होने वाला है, so I have no mindset to adopt. So when I asked how many of you purchase, everybody raised their hands. How many of you sell online? 1 or 2 people raise their hands. See, there is no mindset to adopt. That's why it is easy to disrupt us. Seriously, it is very easy to disrupt a business which has no mindset to adopt to what is happening around us. I'm deliberately keeping quiet here to let it sink. I'm going to show you 4 or 5 pictures here. Alive or dead? Alive or dead? Alive or dead? Alive or dead? Dying. It's a mom and pop grocery store. So if they have regenerated themselves by repackaging the shelf, making it a departmental store, they are alive. If they continue the traditional format, they're dead. Alive or dead? Alive or dead? Almost dying. You don't want your business photograph to be a part of this slide. हमारा डेथ और बर्थ तो हमारे हाथ में नहीं है, पर बिजनेस का डेथ या बर्थ हमारे हाथ में ही है. Okay, I want each one of you to react to these possibilities. How many of you are into manufacturing here? Manufacturers, please raise your hand. Manufacturers. Okay, of any kind. So what manufacturing, sir?
Industrial goods.
Okay, industrial goods, yes.
I'm into incense sticks, actually I closed this.
Incense sticks.
Because of
Okay.
Computer paper.
Computer paper. Okay. Anybody else? Manufacturing, yes sir?
Wire, aluminum wire.
Aluminum wire. Okay, very good. Who else? Yeah. Prototypes. Okay. Let us see this film. Please react to this film once you see it.
Metal 3D printing could change much of the world around us if it was fast enough and cheap enough for mass production. Introducing the production system, powered by single-pass jetting. At up to 100 times faster than laser-based systems, it's the first metal 3D printing solution for mass production. It works by combining 2 powder spreaders and 1 print unit into a single-pass system to both spread metal powder and print. Unlike existing metal 3D printing, there is no wasted motion with single-pass jetting. A single pass starts in the powder spreader, where a metering system deposits metal powder, and a compacting system forms a layer, as thin as a human hair. The print bar follows, jetting droplets of a binding agent. Millions are jetted per second, binding metal powder to form high-resolution layers. Anti-sintering agents are then deposited, making it possible for supports to fall off after sintering, saving hours of post-processing. Once the layer is dried, the process repeats itself. Single-pass jetting is bidirectional. We combined all the necessary steps for printing into a single pass, so that whenever there is movement, there is printing. This makes it possible to print parts in minutes instead of hours. Once printed, the brown parts are densified in a microwave-enhanced furnace. It combines conventional heating with microwaves to speed up sintering. A closed-loop thermal control system regulates temperatures in real time as parts are heated to just below their melting point. Binder is removed, and metal particles are fused to form a dense solid. The production system is cloud-connected. Sophisticated software manages the entire workflow with profiles that are tuned to every build and material, from the printer to the furnace, delivering dense metal parts. The result is sheer throughput. In the time it takes laser-based processes to produce just 12 impellers, desktop metal's single-pass jetting technology would have produced over 500. To date, metal 3D printing has been too expensive and too slow to change the world around us. At up to 100 times faster than existing technologies, The production system unlocks the cost per part needed for mass production. For the first time, it's possible to go to market with metal 3D printing.
So, somebody is into foundry. You are into furniture. Yeah.
I'm into die making.
Yes.
Something related to that.
Please tell me, what does this film tell you?
So the entire pyramid of industrialization will be closed.
It will change, is a better word. Because the need for machines will still be there. The way they are manufactured will change.
Cost.
You don't need a 24/7 furnace to sinter parts. You have a desktop, microwave driven sintering machine. And this is a desktop which just needs to be plugged in. And the central controller is connected via the cloud, sitting with the designer. So tomorrow if you order something, they can actually control the design elements from a central headquarter, send the parts to a panwala who's got this machine plugged in outside your gate, and he starts churning out. He has no clue what is being made. वो मशीन चालू हो गया, उसको एक मैसेज आ गया, ये पार्ट जाके इनको दे के आओ. They will deliver it to your doorstep. And that parts could also be furniture, and it could be also metal parts, and it could be plastic, and it could be any material. As of now, 23 materials can be used. Manufacturing will never be the same again.
Human interference will be reduced.
Everything.
Drastically.
Yeah. It leads to unemployment much more.
No. It simply means wherever people are employed in repetitive and non-productive tasks, they will have to reskill themselves.
Okay.
So if you go to 1947, majority of the population was employed in repetitive tasks. खीला ठोकने का तो खीला ही ठोकने का. Okay, and then time came where you no longer had to make cars by using hammer. वो die में बन के आता था. So you reskill yourself and get into skill set of making dies and tools. Now you've got to reskill yourself from being whatever you're doing to being what will be required in the future. If you don't change, then you are the yellow cab who's looking at Ola, Uber and saying, मुझे क्या फर्क पड़ता है? Till that customer stops coming out to find out a cab because he orders it from phone. Okay. How many of us are into trading here? Trading? This is your video. क्या हुआ सर?
I am an RMT Gudka wholesaler, sir. So I will not go
Oh, capitalism becomes perfect supply and demand. This means that there are winners and losers. The losers will be middlemen. Because why did Amazon become so big? Why did Airbnb, why did Uber become so quickly so large? Because they digitized the middlemen. So I tell my friends, if you want to become a billionaire, take an industry, take any industry, write down all the places where there's friction, where there is middlemen, where there's obstruction, where there's frustration. List all the places in any industry, digitize it, and you too could become another Amazon founder.
Thank you, Professor. In good futurism, that is a future with both inspires and terrifies. So thank you.
John, next up. Sorry. Why is this so much of feedback?
their target is very clear. Most of the technology-backed businesses are targeting middlemen. That means if you are buying from somewhere, selling to somebody, hit this model. Now usually, why we are sitting ducks is because we follow a linear business model. What's a linear business model?
It's not omni-channel.
So that means you will buy from somewhere, add to it overheads, add to it your profits, and decide the selling price. That's a linear business model. Jidhar jidhar linear business model hai, all of those businesses are going to get hit hard. Because your competition is going to come out and say, hey, voice call free to you. Now an Idea or a Vodafone, which was completely linear business model, buy the spectrum, buy the equipment, add overheads, add profit, and charge for the call. And in comes a competitor, says, voice call free. And they said, ठीक है, अभी 3 महीने में तो चार्ज करेगा, 6 महीने में चार्ज तो करेगा, 1 साल नहीं, अभी तो चार्ज करेगा, 1.5 साल, ये तो चार्ज ही नहीं कर रहा है. And then Idea and Vodafone had to combine. They had no choice. Two of the biggest political parties, what will happen if they combine? नहीं, वो तो, it's not two of the biggest. I'm saying two of the biggest. Okay, what will happen if Congress and BJP combine?
No election.
Well, actually, if you look through, both have the same policies. It will be very easy for them to combine. Okay? And that's what has happened in the telecom industry. The two have combined, and you think it's easy? Well, the combined capacity was 20,000 employees. Their target is 8,000. What will happen to those 12,000 people? They will lose their jobs. This is what disruption can do. This is what competition can do, which comes in and offers for whatever you are charging free to your customer.
So what about social impact?
What about that? As a customer, how many times have you thought of social impact?
Yes, sir. Whatever telling me is right, sir.
No, sir. I know you all the correct intent. I'm throwing back a question to you. As a customer, how many times have you thought of social impact before buying? Suppose today you buy something. Some fellow says, sir, my bag is 4,000 rupees. Somebody else says, no, sir, mine is a better quality and 3,000 rupees. How many times have you checked how many people is this fellow employing? How many people is this fellow employing? कितने लोगों का घर ये भर रहा है? कितने लोगों का घर ये भर रहा है? अच्छा, तुम 5,000 लोगों को काम पे रखा है? Okay, I will buy your bag. Has it ever happened? That's what social impact is.
So
People say that there
future world will become a chaos.
World is already a chaos. Take the word future out. Because as a customer, you don't bother about social impact. So let's not discuss social impact when you're thinking as businessmen. It's an excuse of not doing what you're supposed to do.
So my layman question is, as we are Indians, we have to compete with the world. You are telling we have to upgrade our technology. Even we have to upgrade our technology, we will not. We have to bought from China or America or Germans, like example. For example, till we upgrade, they again far ahead of us.
Yes.
And one as I heard about somewhere about China on as sir told, on China only on artificial intelligence for next 10 years, 10 lakh crore they are invested only on artificial intelligence.
Yes.
Whereas in India, no university, no government talking about artificial intelligence.
Yes.
If same thing happen in car industries, auto industries, whatever industries, they almost some industries in Germany they have started on robotics. There is no human beings.
Yes.
They started manufacturing cars.
Yes.
And they, as you told, Uber, Ola, they are bringing in future cars. There is no driver.
Yes.
So what all we are human beings, where we have to go?
You are the ones who are going to utilize those services as you're doing right now. Consumer तो आप ही हो.
जंगल का महाराज हो जाएगा.
Consumer तो आप हो. How do you creatively occupy yourself is going to be a challenge. That's what.
Sorry sir, rightly I'm speaking. Again, at that time British came and ruled 200 years. This time multinational company coming to India and ruling us. We don't have any option. Amazon is from the outside. Everything is from Uber is outside. As an Indian, one Flipkart is there. Like everybody cannot do online business.
Forget about multinational, sir. How many Indians have you encouraged to start and disrupt the businesses around us?
That culture is not here.
Let's not blame it on the culture.
Attitude, culture, mindset.
So it is not about MNCs coming and ruling.
Yes.
Please understand, India has never lost a battle to the British.
Because of us.
So the British came and ruled over us, but they did not fight even one battle to rule over us. How in the world have they ruled? No, divide and rule came only once they started ruling on us. We gave away the rule. Low self-esteem. Very narrow selfishness. मेरा और मेरे परिवार का घर पर गया ना तो एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन दे दो, आपका परिवार का 10 पीढ़ी तक का पैसा हम दे देते हैं, आप काय के लिए सब एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन कर रहे हो, हमको दे दो, हम लगान वसूल कर लेंगे. That's how India gave away to British. History books don't talk about the ones who gave away India. They talk about East India Company. So even today we are fearing multinational companies. Please understand, multinational companies do not bring their people from abroad. They hire us. And that means if you stop those multinational companies, Indians suffer. So there's a problem. The way this communication has happened to us is that we need to have Indian companies. Oh, Indians!
I am not mean to, because we are under WTO. World Trade Organization.
So there is nothing like multinational companies ruling us. Thankfully, me and you still think this way. Thankfully, the younger generation doesn't think this way. It's saved because of them. They are going out and rustling every single assumption about what Indians can do. If you look at what is happening in Bangalore and Mumbai and elsewhere on the startup front, you will be surprised as to how many businesses are getting funded and to what levels. The key question is still out here. Who's disrupting your business? Where are you looking? Have you really identified? There are enough things that we can talk on, but what time do you want me to stop? So I'll go on that speed. We are at 7:45. I want a quick check with the audience. So I'm not looking at the organizers, I'm looking at the audience. When do you want me to stop? We can stop anywhere from right now till 10 o'clock. So you decide the time. So whenever you feel hungry, just start raising your hand and do something, and then I'll realize that chabi band karne ka. Okay, take a look at this. The world's best consumer companies will be the erstwhile classical chemical companies. What does it mean? जो पहले हम जिनको केमिकल कंपनीज के नाम से जानते हैं वो ही कंज्यूमर सर्विसेज कंपनी हो जाएंगे. Scotch. Which are the chemical companies that you are aware of? BASF, Reliance, Dow, all the petrochemical companies, Bayer. In India, anybody is aware of chemical companies? Tata Chemicals, Syngenta, Pidilite, chemical companies. They are the ones
who are going to start offering services. So the Asian Paints guys are actually a chemical company. But it has already said, okay, we will come out and redo your house. So they don't say just a paint, they're saying we will redo your house. And we'll give you a 3D experience beforehand. You can look at the walls of your house, see if this color suits you. If you want to change in shade or pattern, you tell us, we will feed it. And then you have to just give the house to us for 2 days and then we'll waterproof it from outside as well. Okay? God knows how many businesses they are disrupting in the process. That means they are more or less becoming consumer services company.
All artisans will be vanishing.
Well, not really, but they have to reskill themselves. Okay.
The point which is coming through all this discussion is if we are big enough, we need to have either the consumer, a representative of consumer on our board.
Very good. I will just take the first sentence out. You said 2 sentences.
Correct.
You said if we are
Big enough.
And second part of the sentence is?
Our consumer on our board.
On our board. Forget the we are big enough. You will be the smallest player in the field. You better have a consumer on board. Because then you will no longer remain small. And these days, irrespective of where you are in the supply chain, it is not difficult to connect with the customer. You have the power of internet. So I'm sure you've got these guarantee cards saying if you register in 24 hours, we'll give you 6 months free, this, that. The idea is to get in touch with the user. It's no longer difficult to get in touch with your end consumer. Get them on board. How many of you have any connection to real estate here? Real estate? Okay, what business, sir?
Construction.
Homes made to order in a day, on demand. Please react to this. Literally, 3D printing of homes. Take a look.
This house was built in 24 hours. How? Thanks to modern technology, Apis Core 3D printing. The walls of this house were printed entirely on site. This is the world's first actually printed house. With the advent of Apis Core technology, construction 3D printing opens a new round of evolution thanks to the innovative design of the printer. Apis Core technology consists of a mobile construction 3D printer and automatic mix and supply unit, which combine to make the construction printing process as much automated as possible and almost eliminate the human factor. This equipment is unique and has no analogs in the world today. Apis Core is compact dimensions, high printing speed, ease of transport, and maximum automation of the system. Commissioning on site takes no more than an hour. With so many advantages, the 3D printing technology easily accounted for competition with traditional methods of construction. The testing was successful, and the technology is ready for mass use. Time of printing amounted to 24 hours. Soon, using new materials such as geopolymer concrete, houses could be printed in both summer and winter. In the printing process, we used horizontal fiberglass reinforcements for the walls. The quality of the printed wall surface allows to perform final finishing immediately, which significantly reduces the cost of finishing works. The roof of the printed house, in accordance with the architectural project, is flat. Such a roof can effectively withstand high snow loads and durability requirements. Its cost is comparable with steep roofs, which are common for our country. Apis Core Construction 3D printing technology, adapted for different methods of printed walls thermal insulation. This project used loose dry insulating material on one part of the house and polyurethane filler composition on the other. Technology does not require fixtures and fills all voids in the space between the bearing wall and the outer concrete structure, avoids the formation of cold bridges. On the inside, the printed house is no different from a regular concrete house. It is also comfortable and reliable. The house interior includes a hall, a bathroom, a living room, and a compact functional kitchen with the most modern appliances. The house size is 38 square meters. Construction costs amounted to $10,134, which corresponds to approximately $275 per square meter. And this, in view of the shape complexity of the building. Prices include all works and materials for the construction of foundation, roof, exterior and interior finishing works, installation of heat insulation of walls, windows, floors, and ceilings. A regular square house made using materials of an average price category would cost about $223 per square meter. The use of Apis Core Construction 3D printer allows to save up to 70% on erecting buildings boxes compared to traditional material and labor-intensive construction methods. The Apis Core Company and its partners are confident that this house was the first step which convinced the world that 3D technology on the market today is a reality.
Reactions to this film, please. Scary. Yes, sir.
We have been into 3D printing from almost 4 years now. So we provide services for plastics and polymers for prototyping, medical healthcare and all that. We truly see how the industry is transforming and how 3D printing is actually disrupting every other industry in that per se. Right from now to the surgical rehearsals, even before doctors operating on the patients, they work on the 3D printed bones to see how to fix the bones, and then they go on the patients. The risk is reduced, the cost is cut down, the time is also cut down. Likewise, I am not sure if people are aware, but 3D printing is truly disrupting every other industry which is possible.
It is. It is seriously. 3D printing. I was talking to Mahesh. Some of you may know him. He's a businessman based in Belgaum, and they are into a lot of pump-related parts. So he says we've started 3D printing on the plastics already. So I said, तो फिर अभी जो आपका supplier है, जो आपको plastic parts, molds वगैरह बना के देता था, उसको आपने क्या बोला? Because now you started 3D printing the parts, so you don't need those dies and tools. So he said, I told them कि boss अभी you have to re-engineer yourself. यदि आप कुछ और सर्विस दो नहीं तो हमको नहीं चाहिए. That's a reality. And that's how customers will be always. Not for a moment they are going to say employment, आपके आदमी को क्या होगा, आपका business का क्या होगा, जो होगा वो होगा, मेरे को ये चाहिए. That's how customers are. That's how you are as a customer. Okay, so this is like houses getting printed in one day. And it's a matter of time before somebody like you who's in business takes a flight, goes to Sweden, find out where is this Apis Core, have a meeting with them, explore, कि अच्छा एक ऐसा crane इधर इंडिया में लेके आया तो कितना खर्चा होएगा, and then you start calculating, And I'm sure it is going to happen maybe as early as 1 year. So we are not living in a fool's paradise here. ये बहुत स्पीड में काम चल रहा है. And glad that you shared that, because 3D printing is actually changing a lot of industries, okay, including textile, including books. How books? There is a company which has decided and identified a pattern, and if you order something, they can print one book and give it to you. So imagine you don't need any inventory. आप खाली बोलो, आपको एक बुक बना के दे देंगे. MOQ is one. Banks will be operated without humans. How is it possible? Incidentally, Aadhaar is one of the biggest disruptions ever. Okay, and UPI, which is built on Aadhaar, Unified Payment Interface, it's a massive disruptor. Today, Google Pay incentivizes you if you use UPI to transact on Google Pay. Why should they do that?
Monopolizing the business.
Access to data.
Because they want to be familiar to users who are already getting used to UPI. Mind you, Google is giving most of the railway stations, bigger ones, Wi-Fi free. They are not doing it out of charity. They want the railway station to be a major marketplace. And UPI, you understand UPI? You have to enter that code and money gets transferred from your bank to somebody else's bank. UPI transcends education. So it's a big disruptor. You don't need to be educated to read, write and enter data to transact money. All you need is a thumb. And the scanner will do the job. It will identify you through the UPI mechanism where they will know exactly who this entity is, which account, where is it, and you can transfer money. No education required. And that will happen at the local railway station. And I don't know how many of you sell in rural India. How many of you have any presence in rural India? Rural India, Gaon. As we speak, Amazon is working overtime to set up a distribution channel in interior rural India. So they know, okay, whether internet, electricity, सब लफड़ा है. So they are identifying one fellow every village who they have given a phone. ये phone तुम रखो, ये paper रखो, ये paper जाके घर घर में पूछो, साबुन चाहिए, शैम्पू चाहिए, ये चाहिए. You order it. We will send you a complete box. You go and give it house-wise and collect the money.
Franchise model.
Yes. They understand rural India more than what we do.
Bigger market.
Please understand, जितना rural Indian पैसा खर्चा कर सकता है, आप और मैं नहीं कर सकते.
Potential.
Because gap सबसे ज़्यादा हो रहा है. A, B, there is no taxes. C, they suddenly have access to UPI. D, these banks which have opened a Jan Dhan account will offer them finance, or some fintech company will offer them finance at 10-12%. Those guys are used to paying 30% to the Saukar. Incidentally, through the same DTH or the streaming, yesterday there was news that there is more rural streaming of videos than urban. And that means they are also watching the same advertisements which we are watching. So they are saying, why shouldn't I have chicken? Why shouldn't I drive a two-wheeler? Why shouldn't I wear a t-shirt? And now Amazon is saying, fine, you can take any of these, just order it.
Brand awareness is more there for them also.
Yes. If I were you, I would make sure that I have a customer or a retailer or somebody who's selling in rural India. It's a must do. Banks can be opened without a single employee through blockchain. Everybody knows what's a blockchain.
Cryptocurrency.
It's a new technology which is adopted by many companies, I can say.
Almost banks also.
The first thing you need to do is adopt to UPI. How many of you have mechanisms where somebody can make a payment to you via UPI? Why do you think Paytm and Google are putting huge banners everywhere? Use UPI and win 100 kg gold. They're not fools to do that. They understand the power of UPI. This is homegrown disruption. UPI will have 92% connectivity to Indians across the country via the Jan Dhan Yojana and RuPay card. Blockchain is an invention which will change the way we transact. Reason? Today, if you send an email, is the original sent or is a copy sent? Copy. Original stays with you. And he sends it forward to somebody else. Then what happens? One more copy. Blockchain actually enables the data to physically move. So if I send you something on the blockchain, it will no longer remain with me, it will go to you. And then you give it to somebody, it will go physically from you to him. That's what blockchain does. And that means it is going to be possible to actually transact in assets online.
Sir, and one more thing for that, if I want hacking is not possible.
Yeah, because it is a distributed ledger. There may be 1 million computers together hosting this blockchain. तो अगर आपको हैक करना है तो सारे 1 मिलियन कंप्यूटर को एक साथ हैक करना पड़ेगा.
That is the beauty of that blockchain.
Blockchain also makes it level playing field between the smallest supplier and the biggest competitor. Tell me how. Let's say your size is 5 crores and your biggest competitor is 500 crores. How can blockchain create a level playing field? When you enter your credentials and the product details, and if you can prove it that they are meeting the quality expectation, because now there is traceability available, you can actually bring your supplier on board also. कि मैं इनसे लेता हूँ और उन्होंने ये माइन से ये मेटल निकाला हुआ है. It's all possible on the blockchain. Okay, you can actually trace it all the way till the mine. And once that is clear to the customer, for him, a small or a large player has no difference. Material ये quality का आना चाहिए, इतना quantity आना चाहिए. All right. I have 5 other small players who also have a traceability. 5 of us put together and supply you. And that means that 5 small players is equal to 1 big large player without any investments in assets. It can completely alter asset transaction. Interestingly, it is a big disruption for middlemen. A lawyer is no longer going to be required if I enter a transaction on blockchain. He doesn't have to notarize anything. I don't need any kind of witnesses because the system is a witness itself. I don't need a stamp paper to enter an agreement. We can register this agreement on the blockchain and it is as good as done. And that means on the same blockchain, if somebody enters my ledger of the bank account, all bankers can access it. Then they don't need their own separate ledgers. And that means they don't need their own infrastructure. Then they won't need people. Money itself may not be required. Because then you are also, your customer is also, both are on blockchain. You transact.
Barter system. Almost barter system.
there would be still value transferred, and that value would be electronic currency. I want you to watch this video. The best recruiting skills may not be that of the promoter. You may not be the best recruiter for your company. It may not be your HR department as well.
Welcome, Oliver. Glad to see you put on your blue shirt for the interview.
Yes, indeed. You're welcome.
Are you feeling stressed?
Just a bit, you know.
Please allow me to play some piano music to make you feel more comfortable.
I feel a bit better now, thank you.
Glad to hear that. Tell me, why should I hire you?
Volvo die stellen hier vandaag op het salon zelfs een soort van sollicitatiewagen voor.
I think I'm going to keep you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Comments, please. You want to recruit 20 people. How do you find those 20? क्या करते हैं? कौन entrance test लेगा? We call kids, right? And then you will take interview, right? And then how many stay back?
30-40%.
Right? The AI conversation, they will also mark a percentage of what is the likelihood that he's going to stay back more than 50% even before you take it in. That's what machine does. Machine looks at it without bias. For humans, there is always an inbuilt bias. I like some people, I don't like some people. Irrespective of however rational you may be. So last part of the program we are coming now. ये सब समझ लिया. अभी करने का क्या?
ये सब तो
What are we supposed to do?
Sir,
me share with you one diagram. Tell me if this tells you a story. And whose story does this tell you? Forget all that is written on the sides. Just look at this red line and look at everything that is mentioned above the red line. Where does it start? Digitization. What is the next? Deception. What is the third word? Disruption. What is the fourth word? Demonetization. What is the fifth word? Dematerialization. What is the sixth word? Democratization. Every single word has a meaning. Every single disruption story that you've heard so far, you can actually plot it on this. Let's start with the most familiar one, Jio. Everybody is familiar with Jio. So Jio got the license a good 8 years ago. And they announced then itself that we are going to come out with 4G services. And they started the digitalization drive right then. They started setting up towers, and they took a good 5 years to launch. They were testing in the meanwhile. Okay? This deception phase is what fooled the biggest competitors. पता नहीं क्या कर रहे हैं, आ ही नहीं रहे, कितना टाइम हो गया, 2 साल, अभी भी नहीं आए, 3 साल नहीं आए, 5 साल नहीं आए, 6 साल नहीं आए, What is up to that? आ भी गए, अभी वो अभी चार्ज करेगा, अभी चार्ज करेगा, अभी चार्ज करेगा, अभी चार्ज करेगा. They kept on getting fooled. That's deception. Till suddenly the competition realized कि अबे बाप रे, ये तो कभी चार्ज करने वाला ही नहीं है. They took away 25% of the subscribers, which is massive. This led to demonetization. That means we will never charge. As they are on record, we will never charge for voice call. Free milega. Yeah, competition says free milega. People start thinking, फिर इसका पैसा क्यों देना चाहिए? That's when the real trouble starts. This is followed with dematerialization, where some of the other competitor will close down. And the real earning starts when you democratize. So what is democratization? When your customer works for you and you earn money. Please tell me, how many of you spend at least 40 minutes in a day on Facebook? You're already working for Facebook. How many of you look at videos on YouTube? You are working for YouTube. How many of you spend time on WhatsApp? You are working for WhatsApp. How many of you spend time on any of those social medias, Instagram, Snapchat? You are working for them at your cost. Willing employees. Free.
Without salary.
Without salary. Just imagine the business model. All my customers are willingly working for me at their own time and cost. And they are creating content for me, which I go and tell people, look, I have enough content and ability to tell you who wants what. Because I keep reading your emails, no? So I know exactly what you're looking for. I can tell somebody that I know there are at least 150 people in Hubli who are looking for a fridge. Do you want to know? Of course I want to know. Great. I will give you a list of all those 150, but I can't give it to you free.
Data is the future.
So while you are enjoying your Facebook and your WhatsApp and your Snapchat free, you are actually the product, which is being sold to somebody and made money from. You create all the videos and upload on YouTube, you are making sure that they earn out of it. You name the disruption story, and this is true. We just took Jio, you take Kodak, you take Uber, Ola, you take whichever. Now my question back to you, ma'am. मुझे आप बताओ, आपको अगर डिसरप्ट नहीं होना है तो क्या करना पड़ेगा? जोर से बोलो सर. That means the only way is I would rather disrupt myself before somebody else does it. So if I disrupt myself, nobody else can disrupt me. Now my question to you, sir, what is the services that you offer to your customer for which you charge? Consultancy for business plan, let's take one example. Okay, a great disruption would be.
Sir, already in sir field, see our law cell is started in Bangalore. If you upload that app or if I am paying him for agreement.
नहीं हो जाने दो, मैं इनको पूछ रहा हूँ. हाँ, I know what you are referring to. I am asking him. You are into chartered accountancy services. Let's say you give consultancy on tax planning. How can you disrupt yourself before somebody else disrupts you? And let's say he's your client. So what's your name?
Jagdish.
Jagdish is your client. You are offering him tax advisory services for his business. How can you disrupt yourself?
I can give free service to Jagdish and understand his requirement for tax planning and pass it this information to the people who can help him in his tax plan.
What will you get?
Probably an insurance agent. Probably a windmill.
Remember, disruption could be either I give this service to him free, and then you have to figure out how do I make money then. Okay? Or disruption is how do I make it cheaper and faster. Okay? So I reduce his timelines in such a manner that आज data गया तो कल balance sheet हाथ में आ गया. That's faster. And if I was charging 5,000, how do I do it in 500? That's cheap. That's cheaper. That's the only way you can disrupt yourself. In any case, if you don't disrupt yourself, in about 6 months to a year's time, in any case, you'll be disrupted by somebody else. So a great question to ask when you want to disrupt yourself is, whatever I am charging for right now, when can I give it free? Or a better question is, how do I give it free? It sounds like a joke.
Yeah.
Really. You would rather start thinking of this yourself before somebody else does. Now, interestingly, since 1980s, business models already exist which are doing exactly this. The prime service comes free or almost free at unbelievable price, and the earning happens elsewhere. You've already seen that, you've experienced it. How many of you have bought a printer, any desktop printer? कितने में खरीदा है आपने printer? Inkjet printer?
अभी तो 3-4 हज़ार में मिलता है.
4,000 में मिलता है?
मिलता है.
How many of you have an inkjet printer? You've already experienced that business model. वो printer का actual cost 7 से 8,000 रुपया है. It is sold to you at 4,000 bucks.
But ink is costly.
Ink.
Cartridge is costly.
And their business model is that
Cartridge
they will earn in the cartridges.
90,000 rupees per kg.
So if you go and refill the cartridge, or
800
if you go and replace the cartridge, it comes at 1,400 bucks. How many of you have a water filter at home? Second place where you have seen a disruptive model. So the filter comes cheap. The maintenance contract is where they earn. So 4,000 rupees maintenance, their actual cost is not even 500 bucks. They will say ये बदलना पड़ेगा, वो बदलना पड़ेगा, सब बदल देते हो, कुछ नहीं बदलते हो.
Services.
the actual material cost is of that candle is not 25 bucks. But they will say 850 का आएगा मैडम और ये 1500 का आएगा. Total आपको 4000 दिखा देंगे. And they will say if you take 5000 rupees में AMC तो ये सारा का cost नहीं आएगा और अगला 4 सर्विसिंग भी फ्री आएगा और आगे कुछ खराब हुआ तो भी हम बदल देंगे. तो आप क्या करोगे? वही तो उनको चाहिए. जितना मार्जिन उधर नहीं बना उतना एम्स में बन गया. पैसा कमाने से मतलब है ना. 1985 में या around that time Unilever had launched a soap called Lifebuoy. अब Lifebuoy का कॉस्ट था ₹1.25 when they launched it. One intermediate trader would earn 10 paisa on it as a retail margin. 5 paisa was the wholesaler's margin. Okay, 1 rupees 10 paisa was what Unilever used to sell it to all the wholesalers. This was the working. One intermediary came out one day and announced, हम लोग ये MRP पे नहीं बेच के ₹1.10 में ही बेचेगा. And they started selling at 1 rupees 10 paisa, the price at which Unilever used to sell it to them. If you are a competitor to that fellow, you are also selling soaps and other things like him. What is your thought? ये बंदा कर क्या है?
You want to get the attention of the.
So it's just similar to, let's say you are into trading and somebody who is also into trading suddenly comes out and sells it at the price at which is your cost price to your customers. What exactly is your reaction?
Is attracting the customers.
हाँ मतलब ये मार्केट खराब करेगा. क्या कर रहा है पीछे मालूम नहीं, कुछ चोरी कर रहा है. And that's what you will tell your customer also. देखो फिर क्या है कि क्वालिटी का फिर आप देख लेना. हाँ डुप्लीकेट रहेगा तो बोलना मत मेरे को.
बंद पड़ा तो बोलना नहीं.
हाँ ये मत करना वो मत करना. You try and dissuade your clients, but client is client. वो एक बार नहीं जाएगा, दूसरी बार नहीं जाएगा, तीसरी बार तो उसको क्यूरियोसिटी आ जाएगा कि भाई क्या करके रहे, सही में करेगा. चल एक सैंपल लेके देख ले. एक बार लिया होता है
और फॉर्चुनेटली अच्छा निकलता है वो.
So let's assume कि यहाँ पे वो बंदा कुछ हेरा फेरी नहीं कर रहा, actually genuine माल बेच रहा. What is his business model? The hint is simple. He was no longer following a linear business model. खरीदा, उस पे overhead, उस पे profit equal to selling price. He was not following that model. Now tell me what could he be doing?
Cut the hierarchy, sir. Cut the pyramids and minimize the margin to the end.
अरे सर वो तो क्या cost price पे बेच रहा है.
Selling in packs.
He was selling the packing patterns that was coming along with the Lifebuoy soap.
Actually, yes. What he was doing was, he identified a customer who was using boxes. और यूनिलीवर का पैकेजिंग तो तगड़ा होता है. तो वो कस्टमर के पास चला गया कि सर आपको ये बॉक्स बनाने में ₹2.5 कम से कम लगेगा, मैं आपको ये बॉक्स ₹1.5 में दूंगा, चाहिए क्या? कस्टमर वाज वेरी हैप्पी. हाँ मेरे को तो चाहिए भाई. ये कितने ला सकते हो बॉक्स, आपको कितने चाहिए? And from that day onwards, his job was to create as many empty boxes as possible. देखो 10 साबुन बेच के ₹1.5 मिलने वाला था, एक बॉक्स बेच के ₹1.5 मिल रहा है. I might as well sell the box. Soap is merely a transaction. Box is the key. You would never know till you start thinking non-linear. You have to figure out how in the world will Jio make money if it continues to give voice call free data at 150 rupees. It is already identified for itself how it is going to make money. And at some point of time, don't be surprised if you start working for Jio, just like you're doing for Facebook.
Amazon, Google.
or Amazon or Google. You're working for them. You're working for these guys, you'll start working for Jio.
Sir, as somebody is selling Jio for 500 rupees, 1 year he is giving free.
Yeah. And the chances are, Amazon incidentally is investing in 239 satellites, and its aim is simple: we want to give you internet free. They will do it. Because it comes free to you, you'll start working for Amazon. That's democratization. Last part, I'm going to throw some questions at you. If you have something to write down, please note it down. These are the questions which should lead you to your specific answer. Okay. Here's your first question. Can I offer my clients my most valued product or service for free? Can I alter the way my product or service is being delivered? Will it be cheaper and faster? If so, then what will be my new revenue model? ऐसा तो फिर भी कमाने का है. At what scale and margins? Will leveraging technology help in above? So please understand, disruption and technology only get related here. So the first three questions has no technology word. Never think disruption is all about technology. Technology is just a tool to help you disrupt. Disruption happens in your thinking. Can I give it free? That's disruption. What are the risks in doing the above? So this is a beautiful question. What are the risks in doing above? I want to take one volunteer. Please think of this question and give me the answer. Let's go back to you, sir. आप बोल रहे हैं कि मैं दे सकता हूँ फ्री, जगदीश को मैं सर्विसेज फ्री दे सकता हूँ. What are the risks involved? पैसा नहीं मिलेगा. अगर मुझे पैसा नहीं मिलेगा तो how will I survive? That's the first prime question. What other questions will pop up?
I might lose my client as well, sir. Once if he comes to know that my data is being shared.
तो वो बोलेगा कि यार तुम मेरा सब किस को डेटा शेयर करेगा? कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी है. मैं तो छोड़ के जा रहा हूँ. Another risk. Okay. That means you can't have a business model where you will sell his data to somebody else. ये तो आप IT डिपार्टमेंट को बेच दोगे तो बैंड बच जाएगा उनका. So you can't be in that business of selling data, but you still need to make money when you offer this free of cost. And let's say you start offering free, they will never get back to paid model. उनको आदत पड़ जाएगी. Okay, it's another risk. However, is the second part of the question. What are the risks if you don't do it?
Sir, is it necessary to give free everything?
Probably I will do a suicide program.
So come again.
Is it free to give everything or whatever we to
Either free or cheaper and faster.
Yeah, cheaper and faster is good because customer is never satisfied if you give free or whatever things.
Look, Jio is right in front of you.
This is one, sir. That is a different model.
No, hang on. Hang on, please. It is very easy to say it is a different model. Let's look at what model has Jio followed. And there are plenty of examples where people have exactly followed the same models. Okay? They simply went out and challenged the assumptions on which competition was basing their approach. You have certain basic assumptions you make. I will charge my customer 15%, 20%, 25% margin. Why? Because he does not know who is supplying.
tomorrow and Alibaba will come and challenge that completely. And he will throw open 10 more competitors to you, to your customer in 2 minutes. Then it will be too late to change those assumptions. Then the customer suddenly realizes you have been cheating him for the last 10 years. Even if you give a 10% discount, he's not going to come back. So my question is, how do I disrupt myself? Let's make sure that if we make it cheaper and faster, that compensation doesn't come by way of increased margins, it should come by increased volumes.
Expand the business.
So that means number of customers that I need is more, and from each customer I may make only 2% margin.
Volume.
And for that, can technology help me? So if I have 10 customers and I'm charging each one of them 50,000 rupees, okay, in one area, can I have 500 customers who I can charge 500?
So come again.
If I have 10 customers in one area and I'm charging 50,000 to each, instead, can I have 500 or 5,000 customers in all areas and charge each one of them only 500? And if yes, can I use technology to help me so that I don't increase on costs? Because if I keep salespeople, they're going to ask for salary. All those salary will get added to my cost, and then I will not be able to survive. So technology will only enable you to disrupt yourself. How do I manage the resources required for the above? This is a beautiful question. इसके लिए मेरे को क्या क्या लगेगा और वो किधर से आएगा? कौन फाइनेंस करेगा? And you'll be surprised if you have very clear what purpose you have in life. There are enough number of people ready to finance. Ask those guys who are working in Sandbox. How many finances are floating in that marketplace? You may or may not have got one. How many are floating there? Billions of dollars. Those guys put in money in people who they have never seen. And you are there in the marketplace for God knows how many years. There is enough ability already there. Disruption either hai. How much time do I have? So this is not for this session. How much time do I have to initiate this disruptive practice?
We are already late.
जिस दिन से जागे उस दिन से सवेरा.
Today.
And the last question, for which I really need you to type the answer on your phones. Okay, and I'm serious. So get ready. Get down to that page on the phone where you can type. This question has to be answered before you move out of the hall. Ready? What are the first 3 small steps I will take? Please list down those 3 steps right now. And please give us a timeline for each step. That means by when I will do it. Thursday, next week, next month, whatever that time is, put it there. Step number 1, by what time? Step number 2, by when? Step number 3, by when?